Tonight, Rockline brings you a special evening of music and your phone calls for Steve Perry. To speak with Steve Perry, call the toll-free Rockline at 1-800-344-ROCK. That's 1-800-344-7625. You know, whether as a solo artist or lead vocalist for the legendary band Journey, Steve Perry brings life to a song as few others can. Plus, he's a cool guy.
I owe you money for saying.
You owe me nothing. Greetings. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm doing well, thanks, Tom.
It's great to have you here. It's been way too long since you and I sat down in front of a couple microphones and done one of these.
It has been a while, I know that.
It has been a while. Let's begin with a solo CD, Greatest Hits Plus 5 Unreleased.
Right.
I'm curious why the album Against the Wall was never released.
Well, that's a really good story. That album was recorded just right after the Street Talk record, and it was due to be released. And then I went back to Journey and did the Raised on Radio instead, and went on that tour. And it just sort of got shelved in the can, man. And I just had it on tape and waited till this moment when the Greatest Hits was talked about with Sonny and myself, with O'Sherry and Foolish Heart and other things like that. So I thought this was a great opportunity to put all this unreleased stuff that I'm very proud of.
Now, you got the 5 unreleased, and it doesn't end there. There's rare tracks, B-sides, that type of thing as well.
There's actually legally 5, because we had to say legally 5.
Legally 5.
Because there was 1 or 2 that might have appeared on the backside of a single that was sold, but there's actually 9 unreleased things on there.
Yeah, because when I listened to it, actually a while ago now, and I kept thinking, I don't remember this, I don't remember this. Oh, this rings a distant bell, but, you know, I can't call it for myself.
It's familiar, but it's never been heard before.
You know, one thing about you, though, is there's never any doubt that it's you. You just have such a distinctive quality, and you emote so much in your songs. You really put a lot of feeling into it when you sing.
Money again, Bob.
Oh, stop it. Just slip me a 20. There's side of Hamilton across the counter here, you know?
Yes, thanks.
A lot of Rockline listeners are curious about the surgery that you recently underwent. What's the story briefly, and are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine right now. It's been 6 months now on the other side of the surgery. It happened in October. And, you know, I'm walking around. The first 3 months after the surgery, I couldn't walk, really. But now I'm doing great.
Man.
I had no canes, no nothing. It was a major surgery that I had put off for a while because of medical reasons.
Yeah, it was a surgery on your hip?
It was surgery on my hip, yeah. In fact, it was the surgery that, for people who don't really know what happened, it did dig the rift between the band and myself. And once again, you know, unfortunately, we're getting ready to go on tour, on the reunion tour for Trial by Fire. And it was one of those things where it sort of just dug another rift where it was not a group decision, in my opinion. Surgery, that is, you know. And
that was your choice.
It was my choice, yeah. And so I made my choice, and they made their choice. And I think that's the way the landscape looks right now. Everybody's doing what they feel is right.
How does this surgery affect your long-term and immediate future in the music industry?
You know, I don't think it's going to affect it at all now, because it's just, every day it's stronger. I mean, people don't even know anything's happening. Sometimes I wake up, I don't even know anything's happening. I just get up and get going.
Well, there are a lot of days I wake up and I don't know anything's happening either.
I love those days, but I look forward.
Some people pay big money for those days.
For those kinds of days.
That's right. Now, is this just that I don't want to go too deeply into this, but out of curiosity,
deeply is the top of the
let's cut right here. Yeah, go all the way to the bone.
Yeah.
Did you have a bone fragment or break or?
No, I'm a titanium boy right now. I got a complete titanium hip in there now.
I'm not going to the airport with you.
I do set them off occasionally, but I have a card for that, so they don't shake me down. You know?
Jump in, set up all kinds of bells and whistles and everything. Oh, look out, Steve Perry's here. Yeah. Now, you were raised where? In just north of San Diego?
Actually, I was born and raised in the central San Joaquin Valley in a wonderful town of Hanford, California. Then I went to high school in Lemoore, California, and that's where I was born and raised. A wonderful little area.
And that's the Fresno area?
Yeah, Central San Joaquin Valley, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you moved to the San Francisco area to be with the band Journey.
Yeah, I joined the band, and actually I met the guys years before, but I joined around 77, 78, and moved up to the Bay Area.
With the song Lights, did that song emote the feelings that you had with the city of San Francisco? And
yeah, you know, I remember we were at the studio rehearsing, and it was Studio Instrument Rentals, and I had that song sitting in the back of my pocket, you know, and I showed it to Neil, and Neil liked it, and he helped me finish it, and it just seemed so right that it should be about the city by the bay, because they were a Bay Area band before I joined them. You know, they had a great following up there. And, you know, I was really glad and very proud to be in that band. And I wanted to work with Neil for years, you know, because I knew about him. It's a long story, really, Bob. I mean, I knew about Neil through an old mutual friend named Larry Luciano, who was a friend of his about 10 years prior. So we had met before. But to make a long story short, I showed the song to Neil and we finished it together. And, yeah. Lights in the city.
Well, the lights go down in the city. And Steve Perry, my guest for the entire 90 minutes tonight. Ready for phone calls?
Yes, I'm ready.
We got a ton. First up from Los Angeles, Jeff, you're on Rockline with Steve Perry.
Yeah, hi, Steve. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, pretty good. I have a couple of questions.
Uh-huh.
Have you written any new music?
Okay. I'm starting to write right now. Just started.
Who are you writing with?
I'm writing a lot by myself right now. I have a computer set up in my house. I've been doing that. But I'm probably going to write with a lot of different people. But right now I'm just sketching a lot of beginning ideas.
And question number 2, Jeff?
Okay. Will you ever be touring with Journey again, Steve?
Boy, I don't know. I'm one of those kind of guys that never says never, you know. But, you know, I think we have really gone our separate ways. That's what it looks like to me.
And now you're worlds apart.
And now we're worlds apart. You know.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist, yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
When will we see some of this new music?
I don't know. I'm working on it right now. I'm sketching some stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really fun and different, the music I'm coming up with.
Now, I know you're meticulous and you take your time, but you end up with good results because of that. Now, when you say different direction and breaking new ground and everything...
Well, part of the new direction is not to be so meticulous, to be honest with you. I mean, to let some of the simple stuff that has magic stay. Because I have been the kind of guy who does like to polish, and sometimes I've learned lately to polish just to tamper. Some of the raw stuff has really, really got the emotion.
What's the old line, overanalysis leads to paralysis?
Yeah. And an artist told me to polish is to temper, and
that's a good one.
And I like that one.
Sandra on Rockline. Here's Steve Perry for you.
Hello?
Hello?
Steve Perry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sandra? Somebody's screaming in the background. Who is that?
Oh, good. I adored you since I was a little girl. Oh, my God, and it's like I can't believe I'm on the phone with you.
We are. We're talking together on the phone.
Oh, my God.
Sandra, what's going to happen when we have to call 911? Is it going to phone us through or
I already got them on hold for me. Actually, I wanted to know... Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to know, like, what an average day is for you. You know, what you do. I don't know.
My day is just like yours, really, now. I mean, I get up in the morning, I meet some friends for coffee, get into my day, I go into my room, I write some ideas. Sometimes I wake up early, 4 or 5 in the morning, go in and turn the computer on and sketch some changes, and then mess with the melodies later, and then I go meet my guys for coffee, like I said, and then we talk, like a breakfast club thing, and then my day just goes like yours. Phone calls, driving to lunch, you know, doing things everybody else does.
Do you have to do any kind of therapy for
No, you know, this particular surgery is I'm supposed to just start walking on it, which I've started now. I've been walking on it now for 3 weeks solid, every morning. That's one of the regimens.
You know, if you can learn to hit a golf ball or a baseball with it, that thing's going to take off like a rocket, man. Titanium stuff. I'm telling you, man. That's the in thing right now. Sandra, thanks, and careful with the tachycardia there in Las Vegas. You know, you're going to take a couple of deep breaths. You're going to be all right. Portland, Maine, here we come. Tony, you're on with Steve Perry.
Portland, Maine, talk to me.
Portland, Maine. Hi, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everything in Portland?
Good. You are the greatest rock and roll thing in walking, I tell you.
Man, you're so kind. Thanks.
Hey, definitely. My question is, I was wondering if you ever had any interest in acting, you know.
Yeah, I do. I really would love to do something like that. I've been approached a couple of times, but I never followed through with it. But somebody told me recently that that I should look into that, and I'm going to. I think it'll be fun.
Now, who was that told you recently to do that?
She's over here in the corner.
I kind of turned around and looked at some of the introduced me to the show. Yeah. Hi, Robin. How you doing in there? Yeah. What would you like to do? If somebody could say, play any parts you want, would you play a Bela Lugosi? Would you go for a Tom Hanks style?
I think it would be a street character. I would love to play a street character of some kind. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I mean, it could be anything from a homeless guy to one of the good guys, you know? Hey, listen, I don't know, something.
Who are some of your favorite actors out of curiosity?
I love De Niro. I love that last movie he did. It was so funny. I realized this was
great. This, yeah.
There's just some great actors. I mean, they're all wonderful.
Donna on the line in Philadelphia. Welcome to Rockline, Donna.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
That's good. Listen, you know what? I'll tell you, I've been a fan of yours since 1978 when you went with the band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've worked, actually I work in the music industry. I've worked with the Stones and a whole bunch of other people.
Right.
Never got to work with you. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You did, for the Love is Strange Medicine by yourself?
Right.
All right, where'd you get their background for Donna, please?
Well, that song came together at a Chinese restaurant. The band were sitting there for lunch. The band I put together, which was a Strange Medicine group, we were sitting there, and Lincoln, the guitar player, had some changes with Paul Taylor. And the next thing I knew, we just sort of put the thing together after lunch in rehearsal. And the inspiration, I have to tell you, is it's sort of a secret.
Ooh, gonna draw the line there. Leave us in the lurch.
It's because I swore to not divulge the source of that song.
You wrote a lot with Paul back in those days, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then Lincoln, I guess you got a tape from somebody of Lincoln.
Yeah, I got a tape of Lincoln. He a wonderful guitar player, really young kid. He was like 20 at the time, I think, and he was about the size of his mic stand, so I used to call him Chicken Wing. And you know, on stage we'd have a lot of fun with that, you know. All white meat chicken wing.
Thank you, Donna. David, you're on Rock Line with Steve Perry.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, let me ask you, how did you get to sing backup vocals with Sammy Hagar in '79? And would you consider working with him again in the future?
Boy, I don't remember that. Now, refresh my memory. I've done so many things that I don't remember. And that was going to have to tell me what that was.
It was on the songs Iceman and Run for Your Life.
Oh, my gosh. I do remember a song called Iceman. You know, I don't remember. It must have been one of those moments, if you know what I mean. I don't know what to tell you. We did a lot of things back in the Bay Area. We just show up and just sing backgrounds on people's, projects. I don't remember doing that, though, but I guess I'm there.
That was a good, healthy musical community there.
Yes.
It was, a lot of bands back then at that time that were strong and viable and working, and a ton of them, too.
Yeah, I float around like that. I just recently worked on a project with Mickey Six, has his own record label with a group that he's producing, and I just went down and did some backgrounds on their project, and the name escapes me right now, but that's coming out, I guess, too. So I float in and out of these things, so some of them I don't remember. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. David, thanks for being on. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Hi, Carol. How's everything out there?
Great. I have to tell you, Open Arms is the only song that my 17-year-old daughter and I agree on. It's really fantastic.
Otherwise, it's a big split.
That's right. I was wondering what ethnic background you are.
I'm Portuguese. Yeah, I am Portuguese.
You know how I found that out?
People think I'm Indian because I look like an American Indian, and I try to tell people that I'm Portuguese. They don't believe me.
You know how I found that out? Nuno Betancourt, the guitar player for Extreme, because he's Portuguese as well, and you used to hang with him. I think his mom used to cook for you guys.
Well, I went out there. That's another story. I have some of those songs. Him and I wrote some songs, and those are in the can, too. And we got together, and I speak Portuguese. He speaks fluent Portuguese. And his mom had this bread called sweet bread, which is really a wonderful kind of everyday bread. And we sat there and had dinner and hung out. It was really great.
How's your Portuguese?
My Portuguese is pretty good. It's full of Portuguese. She's too kid.
You take me to Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
They speak Portuguese down there, and I'd love to go, you know. Can you say we'll be right back at Rock Line?
No, I can't. Mr. Bob Coburn on the Rock Line. That's the way they say it.
Back in a second on the AM/FM network with Steve Perry. Your number is toll-free 1-800-344-ROCK. Wheel in the Sky. What is the Wheel in the Sky?
That song was written when I joined the band.
Really?
I'm not really quite sure. I think it does have some spiritual connotations.
There are a lot of ways to look at it. I've heard people say it's just planet Earth. I've heard others say it's the cosmic Mandela.
Yeah, it is a bit of a Mandela thing. That's what I was told. Yeah.
Yeah. Great song. Did you realize what great music you were making at the time, or were you just going about your business?
No, we were just writing because I was telling you when we were off the air, the band had a mission. It really did. We knew we wanted to be successful playing the music that we were. And we really worked hard at it, and we just consistently just pushed and kept writing, kept touring, and we got very fortunate. The rest took care of itself, I guess.
You're on Rock Line with Steve Perry.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hi, Chuck, how are you?
Good. I think you're awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
I got a question. Will you be doing do you think any more, like, We Are the World stuff or benefits or anything like that?
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm talking about right now a website. I'm talking about a lot of unreleased material I have laying around and some new things I'm writing, and maybe touring behind some of that. That's probably what's in the store coming up next, but I don't know if any of that's coming up. I'm sure that they'll give me a call. I'd sure love to do stuff like that. I mean, that was really fun to do the We Are the World thing.
Yeah.
I was very, very nervous being in that room, looking around the room and all these people. I didn't know why I was there, to be honest with you. I said, look at these people,
Is that story true, the sign above the door that said, check your ego?
It is true. It is true, and it worked for most of us.
Now, who did it not work for?
I'm not going
there. Yeah. You ever think about a Live Aid style charity for Kosovo? Has anybody ever approached you?
No, maybe that is in the works.
There's no shortage of things right now. I mean, something could be done for Littleton, for the tornadoes in Kansas, Oklahoma. What an end to this millennium.
I know.
When we had the OJ trial, I thought, this is the capper for the millennium. And then we go to Clinton Lewinsky, and then we go from that to Kosovo, and then we go to, the climax to this millennium is unbelievable.
Yeah, Dominic and I were talking before we went on the air, and I'm in reflection at the end of this year, actually. People say, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm just looking back at the end of this whole thing, and when 2000 clicks, then, I think it's going to be a fresh new beginning for me personally. But I'm in reflection about all of this. Because being in Journey was the biggest thing that ever happened in my life, and writing those songs, like you just said, and the solo projects I got to do. So I feel very fortunate to be part of all of that.
I do that on New Year's, too. I look back at what was the year like, what did I do, what could I have done better, what can I do the next year that will be better than the previous year was. I think it is a time for reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take another call from the Los Angeles area. Karen, it's your turn with Steve Perry on our line.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
Oh, I'm great now. My question is, what has been the high point in your career thus far?
There's been so many high points. I mean, that is a very difficult question. I was telling Bob that when the first high point hit was a cousin of mine called me on the phone and says, I saw your mom the other day, and your first album came out, and she had it on 8-track Infinity, and she put it in the car and said, listen to this. And she pulled him in there and turned it up, and she was so proud. He says, you couldn't believe it. And that was a very high point in my life, to have that come back to the phone, that my mom was pulling relatives off the street saying, get in the car, listen to this, this is my son,
We're going around the block one more time.
We're cruising the block, and you're going to listen to this one.
You haven't heard Ladu Day yet.
That's right.
I love it. Karen, thanks for helping us out, and thanks for being on tonight. Eileen, patiently waiting her turn in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. Welcome to the show, Eileen.
Hello.
Hello.
Steve, I am a relatively new Stevette.
Uh-oh.
But a very devoted one.
Stevette, I like that.
Well, I like it better than Perryhead.
Yeah, well, Perryhead, yeah.
But I am trying to collect music, and I understand through some of the stuff on the internet that there was a time when you might have done a couple of songs with John Bon Jovi.
No, never worked with John. I worked with Nuno Betancourt. Maybe that's the confusion, but they're not really similar.
Yeah.
No,
pretty well draw a line, right?
Draw a line down the middle of that, yeah. No, didn't work with John.
Actually, I believe you were working with Sammy Hagar at the time.
I was working with Sammy in the studio doing background, and I don't remember that much.
Eileen, where again was your source for that on the internet?
It's one of the things that was on the internet. Just some information about a live concert.
Well, do you know what you're probably talking about? I did sing live with them one time in San Francisco. We sang a Sam Cooke song for an encore, and we did, they also were closing their show with, I think, a Four Tops song called Reach Out, and I did that with them, but I don't think that there's a tape unless John's circulating a bootleg. I don't know.
Yeah.
What John's doing?
Do you remember the Sam Cooke song? I love Sam Cooke.
Oh, I love Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
All this stuff is great.
Do you remember what song you did?
We did, gosh, what was it? You're pinned to me now. It wasn't with the Good Times Roll. It was another one. It'll come to me. In the next caller, I'll blurt it out, and they'll go, what?
What are you talking about? What's going on here? We're going to play a song right now. If you need me, call me. I'm going to ask you to set this up, because there's a lot of history with this song.
Well, this is a song. For the lady who just called and other people, I was doing demos in Los Angeles trying to get people to realize that I'm a singer who wants to be in the music business. And this song, which is on my recently released Steve Perry Greatest Hits, it's a demo that got me the gig in Journey. And it was the one that was played for the manager, and the manager played it for everybody in the band. And unfortunately, the bass player was killed in a car wreck, and that band was on its way. But because of that terrible story, Journey heard the tape, and I got the gig because of this demo. If you need to call me. This is from 1977.
He called me. What a great title for a song for a guy looking for a gig.
That it was.
And put your number on the tape there and everything. You know what? That still sounds really good.
Well, it's 1977. We were just talking. It's like they're pictures from the past, and they're like audio pictures. I mean, they are what they are.
Yeah, and we were what we were.
That's right.
But we're not that anymore.
Yeah. But it is a fun song.
We're in the Los Angeles area for our next call. It's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome.
Hi, Bob. And thanks again for bringing us Steve Perry tonight.
Steve came on his own, and he's right here for you.
Well, Steve, just before I ask you my question, I have to say one more thing. And, Bob, you'll be passing that 20 on over to me. You are the most incredible singer-songwriter, musician of our time, and there's just nobody to stand in your company. I mean,
Gosh, Hermione, big time.
you melt my heart with your music. I mean, your latest Steve Greatest Hits 5 Unreleased, Journey Trial by Fire, incredible. I mean, the work just keeps getting better.
Steve, I thought she was talking about me at first.
I thought she was talking about you. That's very kind.
Oh, you too, Bob.
Oh, stop it, Rebecca. Just stop it.
Ever to live.
What's your question,
My question
Steve?
is, darling, when Jonathan Cain, thank God he came to your band and came to you with that incredible melody that sold over 1 million single copies from the album that sold several million copies, which was #1 for over 100 weeks.
You do this for a living. You're good at this.
Yeah, Escape.
Yeah.
The greatest album ever.
Steve, I'll be back in about
Yeah. Bob, we'll take over.
Yeah, I do my homework. I know my info on you. I love you. I've loved you for years. When he came to you with that syrupy melody that John Waite would have nothing to do with, begosh him, Open Arms, my most favorite song, because it's a special memory for me. Was there anybody special that was a poem to, or do you just come up with these incredible lyrics?
Well, you did your homework, because what happened was John Cain showed up at my house with a Wurlitzer piano, a little piano, and he had these ideas, and one of them was this beautiful melody, which is the beginning of the song. You can hear him playing the intro, which is the basic melody of the song. And he played it for me. He said, I got this idea, but maybe, I don't know, I played it for John Waite when I was in the Babies, but he thought it was too syrupy. I said, well, play it for him. I'd love to hear it. He played it. And I was floored, I said, I don't care what music it is, it's beautiful, and we should finish it, and we did. And we put, a power ballad sort of feel to it, which had never really been done before. We put some size to the ballad.
People get married to that song.
I know that now. Isn't that something? Yeah. I used to get the prom requests. People say, that's our song, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And they still do, yeah.
It's one of those you remember where you were when you first heard it.
Yeah, that's nice, because that's pre-video.
Yeah.
See, that song is your video.
Yeah,
where you were is your video, and the song is yours.
Yeah, I like videos inside the head a lot better than not anything on TV.
No, it was pre-video, yeah.
Rebecca, thanks. We're going to talk to our main man here. It's Gary in Portland, Maine. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Great. How you doing, Bob? Steve, just saying that I've been listening to music for years, and I say that absolutely fantastic.
Thanks.
Privilege to talk to you. And just saying that I know you can hold your own on music, and I just turned my girlfriend on the other night to your music, and she usually listens to cousin music, and she goes, who is this guy? Yes, Steve Perry. And she says, yes. So I pulled out all my music collection that you got, and I just wondered, I know you can hold your own, just in the future, have anybody in mind that you're going to do a collaboration with or something? Or?
I'm not really sure. I really did enjoy working with David Foster and Carol Bear Sager recently on The Quest for Camelot. I always admired their talent, so that was a fun collaboration. And so I would like to do more stuff like that in the near future,
Gary, thanks for being on. We're going to head to Dayton, Ohio. You're on Rockline with Steve Perry.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm great. Thank you. I just love you so much, and I'm thrilled to be speaking to you.
Thanks.
Okay, I have a question. Is music totally fulfilling for you, or do you have other creative outlets?
Music is like a double-edged sword for me. It's fulfilling, and it's frustrating. It really comes with a double-edged sword for me. It's a love-hate thing that I can't get rid of. It really is. I'm not pleased easily with myself, and I do have to reach to be pleased with what I come up with. And so that's the struggle and the frustration, but also I end up being pretty happy with it, when I'm done.
You can be describing a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
Like a golf game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It really is.
It really is, yeah.
It's the zen of it. Zen of golf,
That's
the
right.
zen of songwriting.
Yeah, I keep telling myself that's like one in the woods. When you have somebody like your friend a moment ago come to you with open arms and play the piano part, did the lyrics immediately come to you?
That one started coming together pretty quick, but John and I did finish it together. He brought a good lyric sense with myself. I think he really, really had a great lyric contribution to that song.
Did that opening verse just hit you immediately?
I don't remember. I think I Come to You with Open Arms, and I think that I Believe What I Say was what came first. And then the bridge came later,
Man, that's just such good stuff. We'll be back in just a moment. But first, Rockline Remembers, which is brought to you by Stars Movie Channel. Rockline Remembers. Can you remember the year these events occurred? The 10th anniversary of Jim Morrison's death, the 3 surviving members of the Doors led a graveside tribute in Paris. Bruce Springsteen headlined the No Nukes benefit concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and Journey released the album Escape, containing the song Stone in Love. Was it 1981, 1982, or 1983? Steve Perry?
I don't know. We're talking about it right here. You got a fan base in here.
They're all holding up 1, 2, or 3 fingers.
I think maybe 1, but like I said, that was a blur. Maybe 1, maybe 2, I think.
Well, I'm going to narrow you down.
All right, 2.
Pick 1.
2. Where was I? I thought it was there.
August 8th, 1981.
I told you.
It charted on Billboard magazine. So it probably came out a week or 10 days before that, but that's when you actually charted on Billboard magazine. How about if we play Against the Wall? Would you like to hear that?
Well, Against the Wall, should I tell them what that is?
Exactly.
That's the title track of the album that never came out. That was the second solo album after Street Talk, which had O'Shea on it. And it never came out. I went back and did the original radio record, and then For the Love of Strange Medicine came after that. So it's been released on the Greatest Hits, which is out right now, and this is the title track, Against the Wall.
Against the Wall, that's a really good song.
Thanks.
That sounds good on the radio, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's the first time I've got to hear it on the radio, honestly.
Oh, that's cool.
It sounds good.
Glad we could do that for you. Los Angeles, here we come. Debbie, you're on Rockline with Steve Perry.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Debbie.
I was just wondering if you were just planning on being solo or consider going with any other group.
That's a good idea. I mean, maybe I should join some other band. I don't know. Right now I'm just still writing songs and just doing that and thinking about what I am going to do. Just sort of like we're talking, reflecting on the millennium and waiting for 2000 to hit.
You could do a song called If You Need Me, Call Me Again.
Again, yes, I'm ready again.
What bands do you like right now? Who has captured your
I like Kid Rock. I went out and bought that immediately because I liked it. And I also was listening to another radio station in town. Of course, I do scan the dial, but you won't hate me for that, will you?
Can we cut this out? Just hit the delay button. Just
Anyway,
this right
I was scanning it down, and I ran into the Low Fidelity All-Stars. And I like that song. It's called Red Flag, Black Flag. I don't know what it's called, but it's so great.
Can you pronounce the latest Kid Rock song?
No, but I love what they say in there.
Ba with the ba.
Well, but they say something about the monkey and all this thing. It's great.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you got to meet him sometime. You'd like him a lot. Debbie, thank you very, very much. You're on Rockline with Steve Perry.
Hi, my heart is just like jumping out of my...
Hi, Sue. How you doing?
I am fine.
Good.
Oh, it's been so long since we heard your voice.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've heard my voice.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of different favorite singers, and you sang with tons of different people.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you haven't sang with that you'd like to?
Oh, man. You know what I really would like to do is there are some master tapes laying around of Sam Cooke. And, David Foster did a version with Nat Cole and her father. And I would love to do a duet with Sam. In the same way that they're able to put it together because of technology, we can pull off those vocal performances and sing along with him. And I think it would be fun to do sometime.
You have complimentary voices,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, I loved him my whole life. You kidding me? First time I heard Sam Cooke, I was in Pismo Beach in my mother's Thunderbird driving down the street, and I heard Cupid come on the radio, and I about died, So from that point on.
Oh, he did so many great songs.
Yeah.
I don't know much about history.
He's talented.
Yeah.
Excellent. I still can't remember the song. It wasn't with the Good Time Show.
You know when it'll come?
It'll come.
It'll come at a minute past the top of the hour when we signed off. stop. That's when it's going to come.
Or I'll be on the freeway.
Oh, Sherry, Steve Perry, my guest on the Rock Line tonight. Now, how can you resist?
You got that nighttime voice, you know.
Yeah, but I work afternoons. So.
I know, but you should do like the midnight to like 3 shift going love songs with Bob.
That's right, yes. It's Bob Coburn on the Rock Line on the FM network. And the next caller is Tricia from Philadelphia. Hi, Tricia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi, Tricia.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good.
I just wanted to know what's the weirdest thing a fan ever did to you or for you?
Oh, God. To you or for? Let's leave the to you off. The for you. Gosh, I don't know. You know, there's been some strange things. The flowers. When I did the solo tour, I'd forgotten what used to happen when I was on tour with Journey. I did the solo tour about 94, 95, and the flowers that would show up and be thrown on stage, I mean, I'd walk off with an armload of flowers. And it wasn't weird. It was just great. It was just one of the wonderful things.
Now, you mentioned off the air that some people have sent things over the years to offices and everything, and you've got quilts.
I got quilts, yeah. I get all kinds of handmade quilts, and a lot of them line my studio, and they're on the walls because they look nice, and they're great sound absorbers. So I got that stuff, yeah. One specifically is the cover of For the Love of Strange Medicine. It's really nice.
Really? Somebody did the cover?
They did the cover, yeah.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, very nice quilt.
Tricia, thanks for being on the air, and a reminder, everyone who gets on the air tonight gets a copy of Steve Perry's Greatest Hits, +5.
Yes, which is out right now.
Which is out right now.
Yes.
Available at your local CD store in courtesy of Columbia Records from Rockline. Back with Steve in just a moment. Call us toll-free at 1-800-344-ROCK. Steve Perry with me tonight, and we have a call from Chicago. It's Tony on the line. Tony, you're on Rockline.
How you doing, Steve?
Hey, Tony, how are you? How's everything in Chi-Town?
Everything's going good here. Just want to say a big fan of yours. And I had a question. What was your inspiration behind the song Thunder My Love? It's one of my favorite songs.
That's funny because we just came on the air with that song. That is one of my favorite songs, too. I sat down with Jonathan Cain, and that song just slowly started coming together. And it was sort of a goodbye song, you know, that if you see her, you know, send her my love, even though it's over with, you know, I hope she's doing well, do me a favor, you know. And Jonathan actually had told me, he says, you know, more times than not, you'll hear this song, they say, I saw your girlfriend, and the best he said he could come up with was, you know, well, do me a favor, send her my love. And that was how the title sort of came in, if my memory serves me well. And it began that way. And it's funny you mention that because that's one of my most favorite songs as far as, it's cinematic. It has this sort of, it's cinematic. It's like 70 millimeter, that track. I'm really proud of that song.
It's got imagery.
It has imagery.
Which creates that kind of picture.
It does. It has pictures to it. For some reason.
You have worked with really good people over the years.
Yeah, I've been blessed.
And Jonathan, you know, I've had Jonathan on Rockline. I've also played ball with him.
Yeah.
He's a good ball player, man.
He's a baseball guy.
He's pretty darn good, you know. He hit me with a line drive one time. Still a mark, I think. Thank you, Jonathan, so much. Tony, thanks for the call to the New York City area to speak with Linda. Linda, I got Steve Perry for you.
How are you?
How's everything in New York?
Great.
Good.
Weather's a little lousy, but that's okay.
Yeah?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
On the Trial by Fire CD, you have 2 bonus tracks. One was only in Japan, and one is a hidden track that's on the last, at the very, very end.
Right.
Do you have any other hidden tracks that you know of that aren't
released?
Yeah, that aren't released, that are only in Japan, like not here in the States?
No, you pretty much covered it. On the Trial by Fire CD, there is a bonus track that was not released here, and the reggae song, which is the fun song on the hidden track for Trial by Fire, but you have to let your CD keep playing because it's not listed, you know, the whole time. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that amazes me about tonight and the people that are your fans, they're really into it.
They know more about what I'm doing than I do, Bob. You know, I mean, this one guy said, "Don't you remember singing with Sammy Hagar?" And I mean, I forgot that I did do that, and it's coming back to me now, bit by bit. You know.
You still can't come up with that Sam Cooke song, don't you?
No, I can't. Come on, baby, let the good times roll. I don't know. Maybe it was that.
Maybe it was that one, huh? Linda, thanks. Back to the L.A. area to speak with Mary. Mary on Rockline with Steve Perry.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to let you know you're my hero.
Uh-oh.
I had a question for you. You ever considering writing an autobiography?
I've been approached by a couple of publishing houses on that, and we've talked about that, and I don't know what's happening with that right now. I've sketched a few things down, starting from the very beginning, and it's been therapeutic to sit there and just start saying, I know, in front of my computer where I was born, what happened, who my parents were, and etc. I've sort of started doing some of that on my own, and like I said, it's been therapeutic, believe me, to look back and get some gratitude for where it started.
That's an interesting question, Mary. A very good one. Thanks for being on Rockline tonight.
Thanks.
Hey, we're giving you a chance to talk with Steve Perry, trying to be accommodating tonight on Rockline. Did you remember the Sam Cooke song?
Yeah, I think it was Bring It On Home to Me.
Yeah? Now you sang a verse to me. Can you sing?
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, you bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you that.
You got to point at me quicker, man. That's why I talk and you sing. Thank you very much. Oh, that was great. Way to go. To the Hartford, New Haven, Connecticut area, we have Dawn on the line. Dawn, you're in Rockline.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
That wasn't fair. I'm a puddle on the floor now.
Oh,
Wonderful.
What a vivid image.
Thank you for the music. I've been wanting to tell you that for years. I can't believe I have this opportunity. My question is, I still can't believe that despite Journey's huge success, the band never won a Grammy. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think we're good company, because there's a lot of people that haven't won Grammys that have just been respected, and I think we're in good company. There were a lot of people who won Grammys, and their careers were kind of like over. There was talk amongst a lot of people that you don't want to really do a big sweep in the Grammys. You kind of want to be respected and win a couple. You don't want to clean up one year. Sometimes you go away.
That happens to a lot of people.
It happens, yeah. No reflection on the Grammys. It just sort of, I don't know, happens,
You know, and there are those that win Grammys that you just kind of go, oh, man. And then some of them get busted later on. Milli Vanilli.
Yeah.
Remember all that stuff?
Yeah. That's actually a real sad story, because one of them ended up killing himself. That's pretty sad. People don't realize that didn't turn out too great.
Yeah, well, that is sad. And I don't want to bring it up for that particular reason.
Yeah.
Christopher Cross comes to mind. Who won the Grammy for Sailing. And
oh, he cleaned up.
Yeah.
And then, that's it.
Yeah, there are a lot of friends that I don't want to mention who've won.
He's a great guy. I mean, he's got a lot of music coming out there on the internet now, so he's doing great too, Christopher Cross.
The internet's changing everything.
Yeah.
It's the brave new world, I'm telling you. Tom in Los Angeles, welcome to Rockline. Here's Steve Perry.
Steve, it's a thrill to talk to you.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hi, doing great, and happy to hear you're doing well too.
Thanks.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say, as a fan of your work with Journey and your solo work, been to concerts for years and years and years. My wife and I started dating to your music, and my brother, 10 years younger than me, I brainwashed him into thinking you guys were the greatest, and to this day he's a bigger fan than I am. It's great, and what I really want to say to you, besides asking my question, is thank you. Thank you for all that you've put into your music, and thank you for all that you've given to us over the years. We as fans can't complain. You've really done a lot for us.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You guys have changed my life. You can be sure of that.
And the question that I had was, you mentioned earlier in the interview the internet, and the internet is a powerful medium in changing things, and I belong to discussion groups and all now, and I'm wondering if you do delve into that medium, are you going to do something that's one-way communication? Do you plan on trying to have some kind of discussion group where we can get with you as well as fans, two-way, or what do you think?
Well, that's a really good question. I would like to take this opportunity to tell you that if there's anybody out there who's posing as me and discussing things about me, because it's been happening, it's not me, because I'm not chatting on the internet. And people have been out there in that medium and enjoying the secrecy of posing as me and talking for me, and I'm not on the internet. So I'm glad that you brought that up. It gives me an opportunity to clarify that. Once in a while, while I will go through the Old Journey fan club, and when that happens, that is me. But as far as the music goes, I think that the future of all types of free music will end up on the internet eventually, and groups are doing it now, and I plan on having a website where I'll have a lot of unreleased things. My high school band, I found the tapes recently, I was telling Bob, of the rock group I was in high school, and there's a process that I have to bake the tapes to play them once and put them on digital to capture them, because they're really pretty old tapes, and a lot of other things I've got laying around that I like that I haven't released, and new stuff. So I think it's going to be fun to release a lot of things like this on websites.
But somebody has actually been an imposter on the internet?
Yeah, they have. And they've done some not great things.
So I guess that means I'm not meeting you at the park at midnight.
That's right. That's right. That famous park over here on Sunset. Don't start with me, Bob.
It won't be happening, huh?
It won't be there. No bathroom jokes, Bob.
Thanks for being so kind, Tom. No, we won't go to the Wayne thing at all. We have Joe in Boston, Massachusetts. Joe, you're on the show.
Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hello?
You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. How's everything in Boston?
Oh, great. I just wanted to call and thank you for a couple of songs. My girlfriend and our song is Faithfully, and that's just a beautiful song all the way around. And Don't Stop Believing, whenever I'm down and feeling down in the dumps and all that sort of stuff, or don't think something's going to happen, I just think of that song and helps me get through those times, whatever it may be.
Well, you know something, I mean, people think that because I was fortunate to be successful in the music business that I don't have down times. And the truth is, that's not true at all. I have the same kind of down times you do. And there's a lot of music that gets me through those times. And every now and then, those songs help me get through it, too. When we wrote them, you know, I wrote them with hope with the guys and you know, put that kind of image and feeling into them. But I never realized that there has been some times recently that they have helped me myself, believe me.
Sometimes you get a little distance. We had Alice Cooper on a few weeks ago, and he has a 4-CD box set, and he was actually driving, and he plugged the CD in, and he forgot. And he's listening to this and goes, man, I feel great all of a sudden. Oh, my gosh, it's me, you know?
And, I mean, it isn't like I'm sitting there going, check me out. No, I just don't.
No, that's not it at all.
No, you never get a chance to get on this side of a looking glass. You've been behind it for so many years that you don't get a chance to actually look at it like the fans here in the studio have a chance to look at it. Every now and then, you get a perspective glimpse that they get, and it kind of stuns you like, what's that? And it's just nice to hear yourself from that perspective.
A lot of things have been asked of you tonight, and I think just from my perspective and watching you, I think one of the things that perhaps, and I hope that you've learned from this evening, is that you've really touched a lot of people over the years, Steve.
Yeah.
You've really made a difference in people's lives and made things a little easier when times were rugged. And I believe it was Tom from Boston who called a moment ago and was talking about exactly that. What is success for you? Is it the money? Is it the artistic feeling? Is it the recognition? What is success for you?
I think it's everything, but you have to add on that is you have to be able to survive real life. You know, John Lennon said that life is what happens to you while you're busy making plans, and I made a lot of plans, and I was fortunate, and really, really fortunate. A lot of them, all my dreams came true. And then just like everybody else, adult things happen to you, and life things, and losing my mom, losing my grandpa who raised me, my dad recently, a year ago. So I think surviving and continuing is success, and moving forward, and using, if you have another song that loves you, and if it's not even one of mine, you know, something that gets you in that feeling where you feel good about your life and you love your life, and music really can do that.
Very quickly, you have a chance in a paragraph to say anything you want to the band Journey. What do you say to that?
Oh, you didn't do it to me. That's a tough one. I do wish everybody well. I think everybody is really doing what they really feel is right, and that means myself, and I think them too. And so goes everything with that. You know, I think everybody does the best they can. And does what they feel in their heart is absolutely right. And that is what's going on right now with everybody, including, I think, yourself. We do what we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got to thank everybody for listening and for calling tonight. Also want to thank Tommy Edwards at the Arrow in Los Angeles, and to you, Steve Perry. What a great 90 minutes.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
This has really been cool.